the Toulouse, France.
Yes, thank you. First, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me for this talk. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. First, we have to present key issues and questions. Acidosis can be defined by acidemia for blood pH less than 7.35. Acidosis is very frequent in neonatal calf syndromes and of major concern for treatment. Schematically, we can consider that acidosis syndromes are three main syndromes in neonatal calves. First is hypoxia and anoxia linked with dystocia, with hypercapnia and hypoxia with an increasing of L-lactate concentration. Second is diarrhea with dehydration. Diarrhea and dehydration lead to acidosis, and it can be explained by cation loss and bicarbonates. And for when there is maldigestion and malabsorption, there are colic fermentations and production of D-lactate that lead to metabolic acidosis. And in this case, this acidosis is frequently very severe. The third syndrome is acidosis without or minimal dehydration and diarrhea. In this case, ruminal or colic fermentation lead to D-lactate increase, and so it can be explained also metabolic acidosis. Tools at calf sites are very limited in field practice. So we have questions about the interest of urine pH or the value of clinical signs to predict metabolic acidosis. The main objectives of this study were to assess the additional diagnostic value of urine pH for predicting metabolic acidosis in neonatal calves, and the second was to build decision trees, including different individual criteria, mainly clinical criteria, to predict the base excess level or bicarbonate concentration in diarrheic calves. We refer to the Anderson-Hasselbalch approach and not to the SEED approach, like it was, as it was presented in the precedent talk. First, our materials and methods. It was a field prospective observational study which was conducted in 2 consecutive years in the center of France, in the Burgundy region, in a practice including 6 investigators. This practice was only in cow-calf herds, mainly beef herds of the Charolais breed, and there were about 40,000 heads of cows, more than 2 years. Standardized clinical examination was conducted on the calves with recording of age, sex, breed, duration of the symptoms, rectal temperature, posture, depression, enophthalmia, palpebral and suction reflexes, and consistency of feces. When it was possible, scoring were carried out for defining some clinical classes. So animals, as I said, were of the Charolais breed. Initially, it were about 300 calves, and finally included 152 calves were included. We exclude calves for the first syndrome I defined. So we retain only diarrheic and or dehydrated calves or acidotic, clinically non-dehydrated calves. They were under 3 months old and were included calves that, for which urine sampling was possible. Urine pH was collected by natural urination and then analyzed with a pH meter or with colorimetric tests, pH stick from Merck and a specific urine dipstick from Kidvia. Blood biochemistry was carried out on venous blood after puncture of the jugular vein and analyzed with VetStat IDEX with some measured data and calculated data. Relationship between clinical signs and base excess was studied with multiple correspondence analysis and for continuous variable with linear regression and qualitative variables with non-parametric test. Thereafter, classification trees to predict base excess, either on a continuous scale or after discretization in 4 groups, were based on the most relevant clinical signs, and cross-validation model were selected with a random forest analysis. So some results and discussion. As you can see on this slide, about 60% of the calves were in the 2nd week of age, and there was a large majority of male calves. Distribution of values for urine pH can be seen on this slide, and you can see that data obtained from dipstick urine dipstick, were very scattered, and the results were relatively near, in particular for the median value between pH meter and stick, pH specific stick. So on this table, you can see the blood acido-basic data. Median of the pH was about 7.2. Base excess about 13. And the results were not very different between median and mean. Urine pH assessment was studied with linear regression, first between results obtained with pH meter and stick, pH specific stick, and you see that the correlation was good, about 0.8. At the opposite, correlation between results of pH meter and results of pH meter and results of urine dipstick was very low, about 0.3. And as expected, correlation between specific pH stick and urine dipstick was about 0.2. In a second time, we study the correlation between urine pH measured with pH meter and blood pH or blood base excess. In the 2 cases, correlation coefficient was very low, about 0.1. To assess the value of clinical data to predict base excess, you can see this slide, and on this slide, the value is better when it is on the right of this slide, and is not good when it is on the left of this slide. I am not a specialist of statistical data, so I present the results as I do now. So age, depression, posture, consistency of faces, and palpebral reflex were the better clinical signs to predict base excess. Whatever the modeling approach based on clinical data, accurate prediction of base excess can reach almost 1 of 2 curves. It was a very poor prediction of base excess, so about 10 millimole per liter for about 80% of calves, and underestimated base excess was almost present for 1 of 3 calves. This is an example of a decision tree built with major clinical data. So we can combine posture, demeanor or depression, age, consistency of feces, palpebral reflex to obtain some results, some predicted result of base excess. In conclusion, I can give some take-home message. First, urine pH can be evaluated with a good level of practical use and reliability with a specific pH stick as M-Colorplast Merck. Second, urine pH is poorly relevant for assessing blood metabolic acidosis in the Anderson-Hasselbalch approach for diarrheic neonatal calves. For clinical signs, some are key components for acidobasis evaluation. First is the age, under or over 5 days. Posture, degree of depression, palpebral reflex, and also we can include hypothermia. When combined, clinical signs lead to accurate base excess level in almost 1 of 2 cases when we compared to a gold standard, which in this case was blood biochemical analysis. So I would like to thank for epidemiology and statistics my colleagues, Tiffaine Corr and Fabienne Corbière, the field practitioners, Cyrielle Franchi and Alexandre Bellia, and the veterinary student, Marine Pascal. Arigato gozaimasu.
Merci beaucoup.